Greetings, everyone. We're starting in a moment. Please say hello in the chat box. Greetings, everybody. Please say hello in the chat box and tell us where you're tuning in from. And tell me if you can hear the Christmas music in the background. I'm so happy you could join me here for this quick impromptu little workshop and demonstration. And I can't wait to get started. So yeah, say hello, tell us where you're from, and tell us if you are going to be doing some nature inspired gifts this year. So let's see. Actually, this music is kind of distracting. I'm too ADHD to try to deal with that. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited you're here. So the impetus for today was that yesterday I was involved with my local wildlife rescue, and they were doing a fundraising event where we were wrapping Christmas presents at a arts bazaar, and it was a fundraiser. So I thought it would be super fun just to share what I learned and what I developed for our program. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you about our Wildlife Rescue Center and encourage you to donate if you want. So hello, Nanette. Thanks for joining me. And you are in Georgia. Wonderful. So you may or may not have supplies today, but I'm just going to demonstrate what I'm going to be using. And you might want to chime in with ideas from your neck of the woods, because of course it's going to be really different depending on where you live. So the idea is to make a really natural looking gift wrapping that we can reduce, reuse, and recycle. So we're trying to find local materials and things that we might have in our garage or our bookcase or nature treasures we collected around the world. And so this activity is actually a really good excuse for you to get outside. Like today I was out collecting. So I'm going to show you what I was collecting. I'm going to get rid of my holiday biscotti here. I've already had too many of those to eat today. So I'm going to move those. So I happen to live in Oregon's high desert. Actually, I'm in Central Oregon. So I'm right at the edge of the high desert. And the juniper, the juniper forest of the high desert. So yeah, I'm going to show you some of the things I collected to give you some ideas. And then I'm actually going to try to wrap a present. So, oh my gosh, there are just so many things. And my house smells so good right now because I've been collecting all these conifers. And so, yeah, I'm right at the edge of the mixed coniferous forest, which has pines and firs and Douglas firs and cedars. This is actually an incense cedar that's more common in California where I'm from, but it has really pretty seeds, which actually happen to have fallen off. They kind of fell off here. But yeah, this time of year, they're going to start falling off. But these seeds are really cool. They could go on top. So yeah, I live where there's conifer forests. So I've been collecting just different greenery from the firs and the pines and the cedars. And I live just to the east of me here is the high desert. And the high desert has lots of these junipers, and they have beautiful berries on them right now that can be used to decorate, because we are going to be making sort of a little corsage that goes on the top of the present. Okay. And another cool thing I collected to decorate my present is this local plant. It's actually our state flower here in Oregon, the Oregon grape, which is actually a shrub. And it has really beautiful leaves that turn lots of different colors in the fall. So some of them are still green and some of them are sort of a beautiful maroon color. And yeah, some of them are sort of mixed like this. And then there's also lots of cool lichens that you can even use. I also found some various dried flowers. I think these are something in the sunflower family, perhaps. And another really cool plant I found that's going to look really neat is this. These are the seed pods of milkweed. And you may have sketched milkweed before in one of my monthly sketching sessions. But we used this last night on a couple of people's presents that we wrapped, and they really loved it. It's got this incredible look here that looks almost painted gold. Really pretty. So again, I invite you to say hi in the chat box and tell us where you're from. And again, if you have any ideas from where you live of the kind of things you could collect to put on your corsage of your gift, then I'd love to know. Okay, and then yeah, since like I said, I live at the edge of the high desert. Another classic plant of the high desert is sage. So we have wild sage, and this is very aromatic as well. Let me see. Oh wait, no, that's something different. This is the real sage. So this is our native sage. So it's fun to incorporate things that have scent, various scents. And if you rubbed your hands on here and sniffed, it just smells beautiful, just like you're out hiking in the desert. So, and you want to collect things that dry well, too. You don't want to have plants that are too fleshy, unless you're wrapping your present like the day before Christmas or whatever holiday you're going to celebrate with your friends that you're going to give these gifts to. So kind of think about that, is that some things will last longer as the sort of corsage on your gift, and some won't last so long. Let's see, what else did I have? Oh, I found some acorns. We don't have acorns native here, but they are in the neighborhood. So you can also, go in your backyard or your neighborhood or a local park and collect vegetation. Now, of course, you want to be sure you have the permission to collect things, and you're not collecting anything, rare or endangered. So like, where is it? My favorite thing. I can't find it. You would not believe how many things I have on this desk. Oh, here it is. So this came from my neighbor, and these are rose hips. And we actually have native wild roses here, but they make smaller hips or fruits. So this is a cultivar that makes much bigger ones that are really decorative. And Nanette, you said you have lots of deciduous leaves, right? So I've got some other leaves. Like this is a beautiful dried wild strawberry that would look really pretty. And I've got some oaks. And of course, where I live, we have wild aspen trees, the quaking aspens. And so those are going to be really pretty. So, you just can use your imagination for this. But again, I suggest collecting a variety of materials and thinking about mixing up different colors, different textures, and incorporating different scents. But I do want to warn you that you should kind of be careful if you're planning on putting something under the Christmas tree where maybe children or dogs or cats could get to it. Make sure that you know what those materials are and that animals aren't going to eat them, right? Like here I've got some really fun cranberries Now, those I don't think are toxic, but there are many red berries that come in that are on different plants that could be poisonous or at least upset the stomach of a dog or a cat or a child. So that's just something to think about. All right. Now, another type of thing you could collect to decorate your gift would be culinary items. So, again, we want to reduce and reuse and recycle. And so think about all the things that could be in your house or your kitchen that you could use. So, for example, I have these really cool dried orange peels, and these are really easy to dry yourself as well. And yesterday I was actually at Trader Joe's and I bought some of the more sweet edible ones. But those are a little bit too moist to put on a present. So these ones are really decorative and drier, so they'll last longer. And then if you look at your herbs or spices in your cupboard, you might have something super decorative, like these beautiful star anises. And some of these even still have their seeds in them. So these are really pretty. So those would look really nice. And then you might have some herbs in your garden or the kind you buy at like the grocery store that are in a pot. That you can usually buy pots of things like rosemary and lavender and sage. So those are a few more ideas. Things that you might have in your kitchen. This is another thing I actually got from Trader Joe's. It's one of those brooms that smells like cinnamon. That's really yummy. So it is something I bought, but I'm going to use it anyway for other purposes. And it sure makes the home smell nice. And again, it adds some scent and some texture. So, basically we're trying to stay away from plastic wrapping and, the plastic type of ribbon and that kind of thing. So we just want to stay as organic as we can while still being a bit decorative. Let's see what else from the kitchen. I think that's it. Like I said, I've got some biscotti I've been eating. I guess you could always add one of those if you want. Another thing from the kitchen are cinnamon sticks. Now, these are really big ones, kind of more decorative ones. I'm not sure if these are the kind you really eat, but they do sell them bigger like this that are more decorative, and they add a wonderful scent. Let's see. I think I've gone through almost everything that we could use here. So I had some more sunflowers that were ripening in my yard. And that's one of the things I used in this example here. See, I have a sunflower. I've got some juniper. I've got some little baby's breath kind of flower. And this is a dried rose. Oops, can you see this? This is a dried rose from my garden. And then those nice dried oranges. Okay, so I'm going to clear this off now and talk about the next thing. So again, if you're watching, please say hello. It gets a little lonely teaching and not having any interaction. I know today's event was kind of last minute, but I have been busy this week developing some of these ideas and collecting these things for our fundraiser yesterday. So I want to clean off the studio here and move on to some other projects. So that's why I did this kind of last minute. And of course, like everything I do, you can always watch the replay. So I do welcome you replay viewers. Here's another really cool kind of a dried little plant. Yeah, so all kinds of dried plants here. All right, so then moving this over for a bit, we can talk a bit about the paper we would use. So again, we want to stay away from that really gaudy paper that's petroleum based or really shiny and gaudy. So we want to, try to again reduce and reuse and recycle. And so the best thing you can use are paper bags, grocery bags. I always use paper because I recycle these and use them for a lot of other different purposes. You could also use decorative papers like this. You know, as an artist, I have lots of these kind of things sitting around that I use for collage and other projects. So again, we're trying not to buy anything new. We want to use things that we might have and be creative about things that might be already in our bookshelves or on our art station. So anyway, we've got paper now. So here's a paper bag. And this time of year, a lot of the paper bags have some fun decorations on them that we could use if we want to. Oh, we got another live viewer. Hi, Ian Drummond. Oh, thanks. I think that's your name. Great. And so you can take those bags, you know, and if you want, you can use the whole thing, or you can cut out certain parts. Like, you know, I really love these doves, these peace doves. And we all could certainly use a lot more peace nowadays in the world. So that's a peace dove we could use. So, you know, we can make a little collage if we want. There's some fun deer down here, and we could use those. So, you know, depending on the size and shape of what you're wrapping. Last night at our wildlife rescue fundraiser, we had people coming that had everything from small boxes of earrings to large framed artwork that gave a lot more surface area to decorate, which was really fun. And as soon as people started getting their things wrapped and then walking around the event, they were like, oh, we want ours wrapped too. And so they would come to get their things wrapped. So it was kind of a slow start last night. But then once again, people saw the fun ideas, the fun wrapping we were doing. Okay, so anyway, that's an idea. So that's another one that you could use, a fun little snowman. So, you know, we can be as secular or religious as we want to. And again, these ideas aren't just for the holidays. You know, anytime, you know, you're giving a present to someone for any reason, you could use more of these organic ways. Okay, so anyway, that's my suggestions for paper is, again, paper bags, or if you have some kind of decorative paper that people use for like collage, that would be fun to use as well. Now, another thing I like to do to decorate my paper is stamping. Now, you could also do a ton of different things. You could paint or, you know, put sparkles or whatever you want to. But I happen to have these really fun animals. And this was perfect because these are all native animals to this area that we were using last night, except the hedgehog. These are in Europe. But so, you know, you could decorate your paper. And, you know, you could decide to decorate it before. Here's a cute little squirrel, or after. It depends maybe how much ink you have left on your pad here. I don't have a whole lot of ink left because we wrapped so many things yesterday. So, you know, and a lot of your wrapping is going to be folded up in the wrapping process and won't show. So it might be good to put your stamps on afterwards. Nanette, you said you love all these ideas. I use ink stamps and craft paper for wrapping. Wonderful. Thank you. Great. Okay, so we've got that. We might add some more of those when we start wrapping. Now, of course, you need a few different supplies here. So, speaking of painting, another thing you might want to add is a name tag, right? Especially so you don't get the gifts mixed up. And last night we were getting a little bit busy, and there were a bunch of us wrapping. We almost mixed up the presents once they were wrapped and give them to the wrong people. I hope we didn't. But anyway, yesterday I made a bunch of these little homemade name tags. And I love watercolor. It's one of my favorite mediums. And so I've got boxes and boxes of used watercolor paper or scraps of paper. And so I use some of the heavier paper, especially what's called 300-pound paper. That's really sturdy. And what I did was I just painted it, and I can show you for fun if I can find my paintbrush and all of this stuff. I had it right here. Where's my paintbrush? I really wanted to show you. Rats. It was just here a second ago. Yeah, like I said, you would not believe how many materials I have here. Now that's a pen. Just a sec. Oh, here it is. I want to show you. So what I did, and if you follow me on Instagram, I was doing some stories yesterday showing some of these techniques. Ian says you love the animals, and I think I ended up on the mailing list after the drawing the pangolin tutorial. Yes, wonderful. Great. So yeah, we support the pangolins. In fact, yesterday I gave a donation. So anyway, here's what you could do. You could take a piece of paper and make it about the shape that you could write someone's name on. And then I just took a lot of colors, sort of what I call a wet and wet. And I kind of just sort of went like this and then dipped some other colors in there. You don't want to make mud, so it's good to use colors that are in the same family. So like I wouldn't add this green or the black because it was could kind of make some mud. Oops, see, I did that by accident. So I'm just gonna go like this. And then the really fun part is I add salt. So salt, especially the larger grained salt, this is a little bit medium grained. But if you pour salt on it, it's going to do this really cool like variegation to it, especially if you have bumpy cold press paper, although that's harder to write the recipient's name on. But anyway, so that's one thing you can do to make your homemade name tags. And then I had a hole punch, and then here's another version of the name tag, again, using colors in the same family so it doesn't look muddy. In this case, it was blues and greens that kind of look like maybe the Northern Lights. Tell me if you've ever seen the Northern Lights. A lot of people in North America have been lucky to see those lately because of the solar flares or whatever they call them. So anyway, you just take a hole punch and you punch a hole, and then you can put string. So I put some string like this on, and yeah, I won't demonstrate that, but here's the finished one. So here's my string, so that can be attached. Okay, so let's get rid of this wet stuff now. Please ask any questions. If you have any questions. Okay, so we have our paper. Oh yeah, now we need a box. We need a box. Oh, we're going to need some twine as well, or jute or something organic looking. And there's also that kind of string stuff they call raffia. Is that what they call that? You wouldn't believe, like, look at this mess here. And that mess there. So this is a little crazy here. I had a box. Oh, here's my box. Okay, so here's my box. And again, we don't have to buy, more stuff to pack the box. We can just use packing things that we might have already. And I am going to pack up this really cool fossil for a friend. I got this fossil at some gem and mineral show. This was from the Green River Formation of Wyoming. It's from the Eocene age, and it's some sort of a herring. Oh, Nanette, you saw the Northern Lights? In the Yukon. Oh, I'm so jealous. Okay, so I'm going to put that in here. And Again, you want to pack things pretty tight. That helps to also keep the box kind of square. Okay, and then we're gonna fold it. Now, a lot of times it really helps to have a second person helping you because like to try to tape this without being all wonky, it really helps to have somebody. Now, I just have this commercial tape, but in general, I like to use that sort of tape that you, that's the same color as this cardboard. It's the stuff that you kind of is gummy and you lick it on one end and then you put it on. I don't remember what that's called. Okay, so now comes the really fun part. And this always just reminds me of being a kid because I did most of my wrapping when I was a kid. So I've got a nice bag here and scissors. So you wanna cut it so you've got plenty of room. And I'm taking these doodads off here. Again, say hi in the chat box. So I'm just going to, this is a little challenging to demonstrate. So, and I just love this. It's so organic, this paper bag. And this one's nice and fresh, so it's not wrinkly at all. So it'll be able to have the stamps on it really nicely. Okay, so then when we're gonna wrap it, we don't want it to be too big because we wanna be able to bring these edges up and not have them any taller because that just gets kind of messy. So actually this is just about the perfect width. So I'm going to start. Now, I am not a professional gift wrapper, obviously, but it's all about the heart, right? Now, if you're shipping this, you need to be a little bit more careful. So then I like to make it a little bit longer so that I can fold the edge over. So like here, see how it's a little bit too long? Oh, that shows. Oh, I know. Oh, I have to do it inside out. Oh, that's right. Inside out. You learn something new every day. If you do it the back side, it won't have the print showing. You want to make it nice and tight. And so I want this to go here, but I want to fold it over so it's going to be a nice clean seam right there. And so let's see, is that going to be, no. I have to estimate it. I'm going to make a nice sharp crease here. I want it a little bit more. And I guess I'd probably be more careful about this if I wasn't demonstrating. There we go. Okay, see how nice that looks that I folded that over. I folded that loose piece over. So now this is going to be just really crisp. And it's right in the middle of the box. And I'm just going to use the littlest bit of tape because again, the tape's not nice and organic. And because the box, the paper is going to be held on with the jute or the twine or the raffia or whatever we're using. All righty. Okay, so then you see how I made this just long enough so that when I fold it over, it doesn't overlap too much and it's not too messy. And so here's our seam. So Again, I want to make it super nice and tight. And I would be doing a better job again if this wasn't a demo. This is probably the boring part for you, so I respect you hanging out, but the fun part is coming next when we stamp and when we add our sort of corsage, right? So just a little bit of tape there. And yeah, again, we want to just enough to fold over kind of equally on each side. And nice and sharp edges, just like you're doing origami. So yeah, tell me in the chat box. I'd love to talk to you guys. Tell me if you've gotten any ideas so far and what you would use in your neighborhood that you could collect for this organic idea, gift wrapping idea. It's a little messy there. Close enough for government work, as they say. I used to work for the Park Service as well as the Forest Service, so we would say that often. Okay, all righty, so now we have our box. So then you can do a decorative ribbon, but we're not doing fake ribbons. So we're gonna use that jute that I lost. Oh, there we go. So just something nice and organic looking. And so we're gonna start at the top. And you want to have plenty of this. And so we want to kind of have it like that, like this. So this is another place where it helps to have another person sometimes. So we go like this. And then I like to try to make sure when I cross that it's going to cross right at that seam, just to be pretty. And then like that. And this is another place where it helps. So let's pretend you're here and you're putting your finger right here for me. Okay. Uh-oh, my alarm's going off. I have another event starting at 4. So I'm not sure why. Wait. Oh, there we go. Done. All righty. Okay. And, you know, there's this kind of twine comes in different diameters. And so you might, you know, if you have a few different diameters around, a narrower diameter is going to match better with a smaller box. And a larger diameter might look better with a much larger box. So it's just about, you know, the look of things. Now I've left this really long so that I can add my corsage, right? So I need to assemble that, and that's the fun part. So that's, and again, the size of your corsage, I'm calling it, this top decoration, you want it to again match. And not be too overbearing. You don't want it to be overlapping or bigger than the box probably either. And like, you know, a long box like this might have a longer decorative topping. And of course, again, if this was a small box, like if it was just earrings, that would be different items that you would use compared to a big box, like if it was a framed art print, right? Hi, Renate. Thanks for joining us from Canada. Yes, wonderful. Yeah, using those stamps is great. Okay. So anyway, this is where the really fun, creative part comes. Oh, I've got dark-eyed juncos outside. Can you see them? Oh, there they are. Can you see my dark-eyed juncos? They're eating some of my hemp seeds that I put outside. You see them? They're sideways. But it's a little bit cold out here for the birds, so they're kind of hungry. Oh, they're cute. I use those hemp seeds for my rats, too. They're very healthy. Okay, now I probably totally messed this up. Okay, I think I'm going to make this bigger because you don't need to see me. Let's see. There we go. That's better. Okay, there we go. Now, oh yeah, so you're going to need a lot of materials. One is scissors. Now, if you're going out collecting a lot of these things that I've showed you at the beginning, you might want a different kind of scissors, like more of these garden clippers, because some things are harder to clip, like these big, beautiful milkweeds, or some of the bigger pieces of greenery. You might just want one of these as well. Oh, it's snowing in the Bay of Fundy. Oh yeah. So thanks for joining me, Renate. Okay, good. So yeah, we want to kind of think about what's going to fit here. And like I said, I really, really love these milkweed pods. And I actually collected hundreds of these and donated the seeds to Think Wild, because they're creating a pollinator garden. And so hopefully they put those seeds out. I'm starting to get hungry. I want to eat one of these biscotti that I made. We'll have to wait till afterwards. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going to use one of these. And again, you can just kind of trim this down as you want. And again, you're going to want to use some shears like this that are sharper. So I might just simplify this and like that. So yeah, you want to design something that's going to fit nicely. And you could have some themes as well. Let me wait. How do I do this? Oops, sorry. Again, when you're starting to go at this point and you're adding things, not only do you want to think about something that's going to fit the shape of your box, but you might have a theme. And so, again, you might want to mix up various colors and textures, or keep a specific range of colors or textures or scents, and not have it too gaudy, right? So you might want to just stick with reds. Like if I wanted to be in the red family, I might use this rose hips and the strawberries, and maybe my state flower. But it's just something you want to kind of think about. Just like as an artist, I'm an artist, I'm going to be thinking about shapes and colors and textures and scent as well. So remember, we've collected some things that have nice scents, like this wild sage, the native wild sage. We also have some cinnamon. So thinking about that as well. Okay. So anyway, what time is it? Okay. Oh, Renate, you said you love the Juncos. Do you have them in the Bay of Fundy? So anyway, so I'm going to set this aside right here and just kind of decide what I want to have. And layering in some different textures and colors, like I said. I tend to go a little bit crazy with things. So you're just going to want to kind of play with something, and then you're going to tie them all together with another piece of jute or something. Oh yeah, you could always have the bird feather as well, but you want to be careful. Technically, you're not supposed to have feathers, but this is a non-native. So, if you have a non-native like house sparrow, or if you have a Eurasian collared dove feather, that's technically okay. Okay, getting a notice, remove that notice. Okay, remove, oh, sorry. Oh, now I need power. Okay, so I'm going to turn that over. You can see the Juncos for a second. This always happens. I forget to plug the computer in. forget to plug the computer in, and then by the time we're almost done, there we go. Okay, the Juncos are not in the picture. All right, so where are we? Okay, right. So I want to have another piece of string here. And then, yeah, I want to finish collecting. Let's see, I might have some of this rosemary. This isn't native, but it does have a very beautiful scent to it. And so, yeah, I'm just going to kind of layer some things here. So we're just kind of decorating, kind of like graphic design almost. I love this, this really beautiful golden grass. It's so pretty here. And these also were, I found locally. And what else? I think I'm just gonna, I could add the cinnamon, but that's not really local. Oops. Oh yeah, I might want to add a little bit of this. These are sticky. So yeah, so you got to think about what you're layering here. Anyway, you get the idea. We're not going to belabor the point. So I got paint all over me. Okay, no problem. So I'm going to tie this all together. And yeah, you get the idea. It's not going to be perfect. And like I mentioned before, that, think about what you're collecting. You don't want to be using something that, if you have kids or dogs, that might be toxic if it was ingested. So that's just kind of your responsibility to know that. And, nothing rare or endangered or illegal. Okay. So now I'm going to put those here. Now I think before I put those on top, I am going to add a few stamps. Yeah, because it gets a lot harder to roll this around once the corsage is on there. So I'm going to add my stamps now. And some of them will be covered a bit, but that's okay. So we've got our little fox, and we've got our squirrel. If anybody loves squirrels as much as I do, you might love this YouTube channel. She's called, her name is Danny Connor, and she lives in Sweden. And she has a YouTube channel called Danny Connor Wild. And she's got all of these rescued and rehabilitated European red squirrels. They are so adorable. And she's actually a wildlife photographer and travels around the world photographing wildlife. And, since I teach nature sketching, I love, getting to know certain YouTube channels that I can watch and practice sketching when I can't really get outside. Okay, so that's the idea there. So let's go back to the top here. And this is just a huge mess. Oh my gosh. I lost my, oh, thank God. Okay, here. So I'm going to actually put this on first because this name tag, again, will be a little bit harder to put on. You see, I got red paint all over. It's not blood. It's just red paint. So again, this is the name tag I made. So you can, put the person's name on the front or on the back, or you can paint both sides, whatever. Okay, so now we have these two long parts, and we have our little decoration. So I'm going to set that on top. And some of this is a little bit long here. And then I'm just going to kind of carefully tie it on without messing up too much. And yeah, and again, you gotta think about, how fancy you can get. If you have to, have this shipped, it's not going to be as sturdy. And again, if you're using any kind of vegetation that might wilt, then you want to do it right before the holidays or before you give the present. Now I'm going to make a couple little decorative knots. This is the one thing that I miss in being organic like this, is that kind of ribbon that you take the scissors and go zip and it gets all twirly. I do miss that when I'm doing this organic version. Okay, and then, oh, I forgot the fanciest thing. Where did they go? So, you could, we're running out of time, but see these the oranges, these could be put on, and you can string them on. Just happens to be the hole in the center, which is nice. Oops. So we're just about to wrap up here. Yeah, Renate says, lovely natural corsage. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna, I can add these, and you can always add things sort of separately because you've got this twine that goes around the box. So everything doesn't have to be tied on to the corsage. So there. And then the very fanciest, most expensive thing are these star anises, although I've kind of covered up every surface. But if I wanted to, I could use some glue, and I could glue one of these star doodads here. And, again, you're going to have to let it dry. Sorry, little fox, I'm covering you up. There we go. All righty. Well, I did want to mention, I'm going to put a link in the chat box to the organization Think Wild. Did I put that in there? So if you enjoyed today's event, I would really appreciate a donation to Think Wild. They are my local wildlife rescue center, and they rescue all sorts of different birds and raptors and mammals. And they have a big program helping to reestablish native beavers to our rivers, because beavers have such an important ecological role. And so I know a lot of you guys donate or are students of mine, but today it would be awesome if you could donate to Think Wild, or any other wildlife rescue that might be in your own neighborhood. Okay, good. Let's see. We've made a total mess here. So yeah, most larger towns have some sort of wildlife rescue center, and it's so important, especially this time of year, as the weather gets bad, and especially in the autumn when things like deer are sidetracked with the rut, it's more likely that they can get hit and injured. And it's just getting to be colder. So, it's a good time to support a local wildlife rescue. And again, the whole reason I'm doing today's event is because Think Wild, our wildlife rescue, suggested that I kind of develop some of these ideas that we could use last night in our fundraiser. And it was really successful, and people really loved, this more organic look. So yeah, anyway, any questions before we go? I do have another event starting in about 10 minutes that I have to go to. But if there's any other questions, you could put them in the chat box here. But I really hope I inspired you about decorating more naturally for the holidays and that I gave you some fun ideas. The ideas are really endless, and it just depends on, where you live. And again, it's a great excuse to get outdoors. I teach people nature sketching and journaling, and I encourage people to collect nature treasures so they'll have things to draw. And so like today was a great excuse for me to go for a hike in the woods to collect some of these things to share with you. So, it's better than going to the mall and buying a lot of petroleum-based wrapping paper, right? So we want to reduce and reuse and recycle and reject the commercialism and try to get back to nature. And I think people really love this kind of decoration, even though it's not as flashy. It certainly is on brand if you are a naturalist like I am, or you're just a nature lover like our friends that are watching live or in the replay. Okay, well, I've got to get going. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you around. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.